Greetings, my name is Jake. Welcome back to Knights of the Old Republic 2, and I'm in a good mood today. Do you know why I'm in a good mood today? Because we're done with Onderon, and Onderon is the worst. So, last time we slogged through the shit pit of stupid dialogue and shit that is Onderon, and we're almost done. So we finally get to meet with KOTOR, and, yeah, everything's gonna go perfectly fine. Talk, asshole.
So you still intend to go through with it? Like I was saying, though, once I use my contact, you may...
Okay, contact the master. I mean, there's like some swoop races you can do, there's some Pazak you can play, but there's nothing else to do in Onderon.
Yeah, I'll get on it. Just grab a cot and rest a bit. Once I get a meeting time, I'll let you know.
Is this meeting a trap? I can't afford to lose you, especially given recent events.
Anything could be a trap. Vaklu is no fool. But if the message is true...
Is this necessary? I can guarantee your safety in the palace, but outside these walls the General has many men that would do anything for him.
Nothing in life is certain, Your Majesty. But I feel something. There is a disruption in the Force. I must investigate this.
Very well. But please, be cautious.
Aren't I always?
That's what I was afraid you'd say.
Well, the meeting is on. Head straight to the cantina. You guys should be in there. And, no offense, but I hope I never see you again.
Don't worry, the feeling is mutual. And we get teleported straight to the cantina, which is nice.
You must have gone through a lot to arrange this meeting. The palace is at full battle readiness. Smuggling in a message is no small task.
Master KOTOR, I didn't know you were still alive.
KOTOR, the famed Jedi Guardian. The Mandalorians counted on the fact it would be you, not Revan, who would lead the Jedi against us during the Mandalorian Wars. I wonder how we'd have fared against you. I thought you were killed fighting Malak during the Jedi Civil War.
It seems my former student keeps curious company. Strange times lead to strange alliances, though. No, I survived the war. If only just. Why are you here? I imagine that you hold little love for any on the Jedi Council anymore. Even an old friend.
I didn't expect you... Yeah, so there's a kinship between KOTOR and the exile. I don't remember what it was, if he was one of the master, like, teachers for the exile. It probably would have been brought up at some point in the Onderon dialogue, but I skipped most of it because it's boring. Yeah, I'll go with I didn't expect you to turn on me too, KOTOR.
You have to understand that it was a time of great uncertainty. We just learned that Darth Revan was back with an armada. Every Jedi that went with her was lost, corrupted, and as dark as their master. And then there was you. Many thought you were a spy, but there's more to it than that. And I think you deserve an explanation.
Am I interrupting? In
Ah,
orbit,
fuck you,
I
Tobin.
thought for sure that the Ebon Hawk was mine. I was certain, only to see you slip through my fingers during the battle. Imagine my delight to discover you were on Isis. Quite careless, if you ask me. Get them, men! And watch your aim! Civilian casualties cause a mess of paperwork.
I must return to the palace. I'll get word to you when I'm able. Run!
What? What have you done to my men? Blast! Men, take care of him. I won't let KOTOR escape.
It's gonna be tough to avoid hitting innocents in this crowded cantina.
Please be careful. I don't want innocents to die because of our actions. Okay. I say that, and then I'm immediately going to use an area of effect. Force power. Yep, and he liked that. Because magically that will just only target... I think that'll only just target the people fighting. Yeah. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Let me handle this.
Beodur and I. Perfect synchronicity. Okay. So KOTOR's gone. Now there's a war going on because Vaklu is trying to do a thing with the stuff. Okay. At least something interesting is happening. Even if the reasons behind it aren't. Okie dokie. And let's see, is this going to be the third time we have a fight right here? It's going to be the third time we have a fight right here. Oh goody, I love Onderon. Yeah, so all of Vaklu's troops are attacking us. I don't know why, now that I think about it. I mean, didn't Vaklu say to watch me, not to... Okay, we need a bit of energy resistance for the moment. Good. Hello. Okay, that knocked 2 of them down. That's good. Huh. Alright. I'm not sure if energy... Yeah, energy resistance wore off. No, it didn't. Anyway, I leveled up. Sure. Do that right in the middle of battle. Get that repair going up some more. I think that's enough for the little quest thing. Yeah, sure, force armor. That's fine. Yeah. Ooh, you guys are low on health. I did not notice. Probably should have used shields at that point. Especially since they were doing like 40 damage on things, but whatever. And we probably should be escaping, but there's loot to pick up, and that's significantly more important. Ooh, Viridian Crystal. Nice. So that's one of the colors that were introduced in this game. Viridian. A slightly different green, which makes it cooler because it's slightly different. Craft Holy Battlesuit. Interesting. Oh, Sharon. I think that's worth a lot, but not very good. Sharon is... Oh, no, that's really good. Okay. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Actually...
What's wrong?
I'm gonna give the Sharon to you. Yeah. And then put the Zabrak Vibro Blade in this side. Yeah, that's much better. Fabulous. So, prepare for one of the
What's happening in the West Square? It sounded like battle. Command's ordered comm blackout. Do you know what's going on?
Vaklu soldiers have been attacking me.
What? Why? That makes no sense. Command hasn't issued any alerts. Are you sure it wasn't some of those Beast Rider slags? They've been getting bolder recently.
It's broad daylight. They were wearing uniforms.
You must be mistaken. Soldiers just don't attack civilians without orders. If it weren't for the comm blackout, I'd check with Command. Just head to the safety of the Merchant Square, citizen. We'll send a patrol to investigate as soon as we can contact our HQ.
Not all the military is after us. Still, Vaklu can throw a whole army at us. I think we've outworn our welcome over here. We should head over to the spaceport before General Vaklu invents some charges against us. Then we'd be in real trouble.
Okie dokie. Now prepare for one of the stupidest things in this entire game. Remember that mob we saw earlier? Yeah, they're back.
You know what to do. Let's...
Yeah, so the mob's gonna attack me. Me. How'd that work out for you? Did it work out well? Are you glad you did that? Did you think the 4 of you could overpower the 3 of us? I have no idea why this happens. I don't understand it at all. Unless it's there to be like, hey, even the civilians have gone mad and they want to attack random... I don't get it. I don't understand, Onderon. I don't get it. Can I talk to you?
I noticed your incident just now. I'm afraid I have nothing more to say.
Well,
good luck in your travels.
Alright, there was nothing I needed from you. Okie dokie.
The diagnostic is doing something strange. Target acquired. What the hell does that mean?
Oh no, there's droids attacking me. Or turrets. Well, I guess they're technically droids.
Take them down.
Where that came from. For Clan Ordo.
There's another droid doing a thing. Oh, they did the smartest thing they could. They put him up there. So I have to use... All my guys are melee. Whatever. Okay, did any of those drop remains? Any loot? No? Are you sure? Okay. Alright.
Your visa's been scanned. You're cleared to leave. I'd leave right away. Things are going crazy in this quarter.
Okay. Who are you? Do you have anything to say?
I'm Captain Galisi, Offworlder. If you want to pass here, I'll need to see your starport visa.
Here's my visa.
Everything seems in order. You're cleared to go.
I know. I know I am. Whatever.
The shuttle is just ahead. I think we should get out of here fast. It's gonna be some time before they forget about us here. No more trips to ISIS for us until the situation changes. A lot.
Okay. And I didn't notice that Sharon has this red tinge to it. That's neat. Thankfully, I can still talk to you, because you have Sharon. Yeah, let me see what we got. Oh, no. Let me see what we have. Yeah, you have Charek, sorry. So, what sort of things can I sell that I'm not going to use but are worth a lot? Force Pike, never going to use that. Sell that. Gan Shock Staff, never going to use that. Because it's only a DC 14 to stun. I mean, it's 50% of the time it'll roll, and then it rolls a 14. It's for 9 seconds. Like, fine, but just kill him. What enemy can you not kill in 9 seconds that is also susceptible to stunning? Stupid. But it's worth a lot. So, I'm going to buy Charek. And that's most of my credits. I don't care. There's probably other things I can sell. Oh, there was a Krath Holy... Oh, that's medium. Oh. That's not very useful. Those resistances aren't really useful, though. Not gonna worry about it. Okie dokie, so that's ISIS. It's a boring, stupid... Hello, Restored Content Mod. I'm glad to see you, too. Actually, you know what? I can. Fabulous.
Ready to serve.
Okie dokie.
Diagnostic. For some reason, I cannot fire. Obvious statement. This alarmed him.
Okay. Nice to see you too.
Optimal ratio systems failing.
So the HKs can't attack each other. It's fine.
Optimal ratio achieved. Systems failing, Master.
Can we ask you about that?
Query.
Just some questions about the other HKs. Do you know where the clones are being created?
Answer. Master, I do not know. I have tried in vain to find it, but so far the location of the factory churning out these copies has eluded me.
But how did this happen?
Statement. I have no idea, Master.
What was that? It sounded like a malfunction.
Statement. Oh no, Master, surely you are mistaken. I would never malfunction in such a way on purpose.
Are you sure you don't know where they are striking from?
Prompt. Do you understand me? I have no idea. It certainly isn't a matter of it being locked in my memory core and being unable to communicate it to others.
And how would this information come out if it was locked in your memory core?
Answer. I fear that any such information that exists would only come out when a certain sequence of events takes place. That is why I am eager to encounter more of these clones in the hopes that something clicks that allows me to finally pull the trigger.
Okay.
Statement.
Why do you need me?
Statement. Master, there are two reasons for this. One, the probability of them showing up around you is statistically high. If I travel with you, then my chances of encountering these clones is also high. The second reason is a little more complicated. You see, even though those clones are obviously cheap, artless imitations of me, well, they are still me.
What are you talking about?
Answer. Somehow these droids are built from my schematics. This causes certain complications.
That doesn't explain why you need me.
Answer. Because of my self-preservation program, my behavior core recognizes these templates as still being me, despite their individuality. I could no more shoot them than I could shoot myself. It is a frustrating situation that has been looping through my behavior core for some time.
Okay.
Statement. What?
Yep. I think I needed to trigger that before the fight. Oh well. Back to Duxon. Yep, let's go back to Duxon.
We're back. The shuttle is going to stay docked here until further notice. I'm not ready to part company yet. It sounds like you have a lot of traveling to do. So do I. I'm going with you. The Sith have taken a particular interest in you, and you could use an extra blaster.
No, you're using swords
I've
now.
been meaning to leave Duxon to look for other Mandalorian clans anyway.
That sounds altruistic. I didn't know you had it in you.
I don't have it in me. It's a matter of self-interest. The Sith aren't known for sharing power. If the Jedi Order is destroyed for good, it's inevitable that the Sith will dominate the Republic. And then my people would be eradicated or enslaved. Helping your cause is a matter of necessity. Mandalorians helped Exar Kun during his war. We know firsthand how we'd fare in the service of their like. But that's enough for now. We'll have time to talk later.
The Ebon Hawk is patched up and ready to go. When you're ready to depart, we can ask the guide here to take us back to the ship.
Alrighty. And that is the end of Duxon and Onderon. But we never got to talk with Kavar proper, so it's almost as if they're setting up something, you know, the situation has to change, so, you know. And unfortunately, I think the only remains that get dropped from the battle that happened right before we left are the ones of Mandalorians. I don't know. Yeah, Mandalorian heavy armor. Poison grenades. but they're doing fine. They're doing all right. They're all good. All right, let's go. Excuse me.
Ready to head back to your ship?
Yep, let's go.
Follow me.
How many conversations do you think we're gonna have when we board the ship again? I'm guessing 7. I think 7 conversations are gonna start when we enter the ship.
Finally decided to let me take a look at your circuitry.
Answer: indeed I did. I hope you understand how difficult it is for me to trust a meat bag with something as delicate as my inner mechanics. Explanation: our encounters with my copies has convinced me that I should look into upgrading my capabilities in order that I may be able to destroy them with greater impunity.
Worried you might be going obsolete? I understand.
Objection: nothing of the sort. I am programmed to improve my capabilities if it will improve my chances of destroying a target, even as unsavory an avenue as this.
You don't have to suffer on my account. Maybe you are better off not letting me dig around in you.
Retraction: you must understand, my previous interactions with meatbags have rarely been pleasant. Disclosure: after all, most of those meetings involved the termination of said meatbags.
It obviously couldn't have been your charming personality. Now, if you want me to see if I can upgrade your functionality, just let me get to work on you.
Answer: in that case, please go ahead. Just be careful not to damage any of my delicate parts.
The banter gives me life.
Analysis: my self-diagnostic indicates that my performance has indeed been improved. Also, many of my systems are reporting improved efficiency. Commentary: I am most pleased with this turn of events. It would appear that my initial analysis of your mechanical abilities was incorrect.
You're welcome.
Permanent bonus to his constitution. Okay. What are you doing? Apparently this is at night, even though I didn't expect to see you awake.
I dreamt of Malachor. I remember the ships, the last stand of the Republic. The tattered remnants of our fleet, the largest we could gather. But it was damaged, weakened, and vulnerable. The Mandalorians couldn't resist. They tore into us like beasts, shredding our ships to scrap as we fought back. Yet this time there were no reinforcements for either side. Revan had been delayed out-system by Mandalorian scout ships. By the time she arrived, it was too late. And beyond Malachor, there were no more Mandalorians left to die. I remember standing on the bridge with you and watching the destruction of the Republic, watching ships full of soldiers and Jedi burn and die. I remember the look you had when you turned to me. It was the longest you'd ever looked at me. You didn't say anything, just a nod. Events moved quickly then, even in my dreams. Flashes, explosions, you falling. I could feel the pain around me. And then the memory, the drifting hulks of the Mandalorian ships, the dead, allies, friends, strangers. And then the echo, lingering, the sound I awakened to in my nightmares.
Yeah, I know we've heard this conversation before, but people say that Knights of the Old Republic 2 doesn't have a twist like the first game does. I disagree with, I partially disagree with that. It doesn't have a twist in the same way that the first game does, but it does have a twist about your character's identity, and it just does it in such a subtle way that you don't even notice it. You're slowly unpacking information about yourself. But this is, I didn't remark on this at the time, but this is pretty significant. You know, whatever horrible thing happened at Malachor 5, Beodur and I are directly responsible for it. Yeah, my decision haunts me too.
Blame lies with me for creating it. The situation forced your hand. Anger forced mine.
If you are to blame for its creation, then I am equally to blame for commanding its use. So, you haven't learned everything yet, but you've got a pretty good picture of what's going on with Malachor.
You realize that unless action was taken, the fleet would be destroyed and the Republic would fall. None of us realized the magnitude of what we unleashed.
So you fought against the Mandalorians in the war.
I was part of the war effort, yes. I worked as a technician, though.
But you fought on the front lines. To a Mandalorian, there is honor in that.
I could do without your Mandalorian honor. I saw the results of your honor. The absolute destruction your warriors brought. And look at them now. Mandalorians are little better than mercenary thugs. And what's honor to someone like that? All they care about are credits.
If I were you, I'd pick your words more carefully.
Settle down, you two. This isn't the time or place for this.
You fought for no cause other than to spread suffering and pain to the people you conquered.
Maybe that's what it looked like to you, but that isn't why we fought. We fought for honor and glory in the heat of battle.
You did nothing but murder innocents.
The Republic took us too lightly. We wanted to face the full force of their army. We had to goad them to fight.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. If you ask me, you Mandalorians just got what you deserved at Malachor.
Defeat is part of a warrior's life. We will recover, stronger than before.
Doesn't it even bother you that your people were almost destroyed? Or do lives have no meaning to you?
People die in war.
Well, I'm glad to have you guarding my back.
I don't remember if this is in the original game, but this conflict here between Mandalore and Beodur is explored more with the restored content on, so... Yeah, I don't think this needs to be discussed any further.
Fine by me.
Oh, only 3 conversations. Alright. That's okay. So I'm gonna start with Mira, because you may have noticed that I brought her along on Duxon, and that was because I wanted to gain influence her, but I remembered that the main way you gain influence with Mira isn't through things that you do on planets, it's through conversation on the ship. So we're gonna start there.
Yeah, something wrong?
There were some questions I wanted to ask.
Go ahead and ask.
Why don't you kill your targets?
I've killed people before, but not if I don't have to.
Because all life is connected, and Malachor proved it. You know what the loss of family means, even to your targets.
Oh, do I? Is that it? How you could ever possibly hope to understand is beyond me. Jedi don't have family. I know what happened at Malachor 5, and I know the Jedi didn't care about life there.
I have never stopped trying to protect others, even at Malachor.
Get away from me. The next time you come and ask me a question, I swear I'll shoot you in the head and dump you out the airlock.
Interesting. I think I can still talk to her, though.
What do you want now?
I wanted to apologize.
Whatever, don't worry about it. It's just a sore subject with me.
Still, I'm sorry you lost your family at Malachor.
Yeah, well, they're dead. That's how that story ends. But not everybody's story has to end with losing their family or their loved ones. And not all the bounty hunting I do is for criminals or killers.
What do you mean?
There's a lot of lost people out there. Scattered ever since the Mandalorian Wars. And sometimes, it's like you can almost hear them. Like an echo, calling out for each other. And maybe, just maybe by finding them, I can start putting the galaxy back together.
All things are connected through the Force. Such acts of kindness... Oh, from such acts of kindness, great things can come.
Maybe. We'll see. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. But you're not getting anything else out of me.
Yeah, you say that, but I got some more questions to ask.
Shoot.
Were you raised on Nar Shaddaa?
Yeah, more or less. I wasn't born there. I just ended up there.
What happened to your family?
Well, the war happened. The first one, against the Mandalorians. I had family right up until the end. It's not really a new story. You hear it all over the galaxy. It's what happens after the wars are over that you don't hear much about.
They died in the final battle?
I think so. After Revan crushed the Mandalorians, planets throughout the Republic were flooded with refugees. I was just one of the others. Me? I got passage to Nar Shaddaa. From there, not much you can do, so I became a bounty hunter.
How could you have lost family at Malachor 5? There were no colonies. It was a taboo world to the Mandalorians.
Take a guess, Jedi. Only 2 groups of people would have lost family at Malachor. And Jedi don't have families.
You're a Mandalorian?
As much as any slave becomes a Mandalorian. They took prisoners on every world they conquered to bolster their ranks. And they took a lot of worlds.
You were a slave?
When I was young, yeah. They mostly used me to carry ammo packs and munitions. Toward the end of the war, they needed everyone they could get. They taught me to fight, to hunt, to survive. I was part of their squad, even when I was young. Everyone served as part of the unit, and I felt like I had a place there. After Malachor, it really didn't matter anymore. The Mandalorians lost. Bad. But you know that.
I regret the loss of life at Malachor, but there was no choice left.
Yeah, I know. I saw the worlds they left behind them during the war. That kind of stays with you. I haven't forgotten it. What happened at Malachor, they probably deserved it.
You don't sound too happy about it.
Should I be? Maybe I should ask you if you're happy about all the Jedi who died on Malachor 5. Maybe it felt like you lost family there, but I doubt it.
They had to be stopped.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That kind of...
Some other questions. Why did you become a... I think we've done this, but why did you become a bounty hunter?
I'm good at finding people, so I used it to make credits.
Finding people on Nar Shaddaa seems difficult.
Not if you know your target. Usually you get a hollow or rough description, and then you just sort of listen to it, get a feel for him or her, and start walking.
Walking?
This is a little hard to explain, but Nar Shaddaa's got a flow, a life to it. You see all kinds of aliens and life there, and it's got currents.
No, I understand.
You know your target, you can feel them. Know where they're going to go. And sometimes, you know where they're going to be before they do. I'm good at finding people. Because when they're lost or out of place, it's like something's wrong inside them. And that's why I hunt.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Keep going. Yeah, what happened between you and Hanhar?
I didn't kill him once. Biggest mistake ever.
What do you mean?
Do you really want to hear this?
I do. Yeah, I'd like to know what happened.
Well, Hanhar and me go way back, in the worst possible way. He's from some forest planet on the Outer Rim where Zerka had set up one of their slaving operations.
Do you know the name of his homeworld?
I don't remember the name. Something with too many K's and Y's. Sounds like you're gargling Ronto spit when you say it.
I love that line. Do you know what species he is?
No idea. He's just... Hanhar. I hope there aren't any more like him. I get the impression he's not a good representative of his people, though. He's the equivalent of a mad calf hound among Rontos. Some of Voga the Hutt's men said Hanhar killed his own tribe, but those 2 crud thugs lie every time they open their mouths, so who knows?
So he was a slave?
Well, not for long. Once off planet, Hanhar escaped from the Zerka slavers, then killed them all.
Why was he wearing those cuffs?
I don't know. I always thought he just liked using them as weapons.
Sounds like he, sounds like Zerka deserved it.
Well, before you get too teary-eyed, Hanhar figured Zerka had the right idea. I don't think he understood the concept of slavery before, at least on the scale that Zerka practiced it. But now he did. You ever hear of Dursan 3, or the ID cluster colonies?
No, I don't think so.
Right. That's because Hanhar happened. He makes what happened to his homeworld look like an exercise in community building. He's not a bounty hunter. He's a slaver. A predator. It's like he's out to enslave or kill every human in the galaxy, like he's trying to settle some huge score or debt. I don't get it, but he's dangerous.
Yeah, Hanhar has a interesting, kind of morbidly fascinating story that, unfortunately, we're not going to get into the depths of. But yeah, who did he work with?
Anyone who paid credits, and sometimes he just hunted humans for sport. The ones who survived, he sold to the exchange, to the huts, to anyone who'd buy bodies, living or dead. He and Voga used to do big credit transactions. That hut really liked the look of unwrinkled humans for some reason. Didn't make him too popular with the other huts, let me tell you.
So how do you factor in?
I was prey. And not only did I escape, but I saved his life while doing it. He's been hunting me ever since.
So he wants to capture you?
I don't pretend to understand it, but among his people, they have these codes of honor. But somewhere along the line, Hanhar's got twisted. His people form these things called life debts. If you save the life of one of them, they pledge themselves to you.
That doesn't sound too bad.
Well, with Hanhar, he can't escape that life debt. It's bred into him. But he hates every other living thing in the galaxy, so pledging himself to someone else, especially a human, was unbearable. So when I saved his life, it was the worst thing I could do. It was like slavery all over again. But it was in his head. It was like it pushed him over the edge.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this before, but Mira and Hanhar, they're kind of a reversal of Mission Veo and Zalbar from the first game. And towards the end of that game, you can, you save Zalbar at some point, and he forms a life debt for you. And if you go down the dark side, eventually you can use that life debt as leverage to force him to kill Mission Veo when she refuses to side with you once your evilness comes out. And this game really explores the concept of what a terrible thing it must be to have a life debt to someone. It's not some honorable thing. It's a form of mentally self-imposed mental slavery, and to a species that has been enslaved, as was also the case in the first game, that's gotta be fucking terrible. So, yeah, but let's have you elaborate on that.
A life debt to Hanhar is a death sentence. He'll hunt you until you're dead. When I saved his life, it meant he had to kill me. And so he kept chasing me in hopes I would die. I think the fact I showed him mercy after hating humans for so long, that was something he couldn't stand.
Well, that life debt makes no sense.
Yeah, tell me about it. Like I said, I get the impression a life debt's supposed to be a gift, but to Hanhar, it's more like a curse to both people involved.
And what if someone else saved his life? Would he try to kill them?
Probably. But if he had multiple life debts, especially to humans, Hanhar would probably go mad. He was angry before, sure, but he'd be 10 times worse if that happened.
Worse how?
Hanhar's tough. Really tough. And when he loses it, it's like nothing can stop him. I've seen him shrug off blaster bolts, boff and stunners, and even survive a freighter crash on Dursan 3. He keeps coming.
Any regrets that he's gone?
Oh, I'm glad he's gone. It's like a weight off my shoulders. I don't have to keep watching my back every minute, wondering when he's going to show up. And he always did. It's like he always knew where I was.
Any chance he's still alive?
Trust me, if he was still alive, he'd be chasing us even now, waiting to ambush us when we least expect it. And he always shows up at the worst possible time. He was one of the best bounty hunters on Nar Shaddaa. Hanhar never gives up on his prey. Or his life debts. He's a hunter. He's a natural predator.
So how did you save his life? I think we went through this already, but sure.
Well, as happens on Nar Shaddaa, I made someone mad. Mad enough for them to send Hanhar after me. Turns out they were even able to get him cheap. He'd heard about me and wanted to hunt me down, for sport. He didn't think I'd be much of a challenge.
And you proved him wrong?
Well, he tried to box me down in vents beneath the Nar Shaddaa docks, and he'd set one too many proximity mines to cover the escape routes.
Why use mines?
I think he'd hoped to drive me into the mines and then let them do the work. Or that I'd be too scared to try and walk through them. Thing is, I knew Hanhar's supplier, and the trigger signatures for the mines. It was pretty easy to broadcast a signal to blind their sensor receptors for a minute or two. I figured that would buy me enough time to move through them and get away.
But it didn't happen that way.
Like I said, I disarmed the trigger fuses for enough of the mines to get by, temporarily. And Hanhar was pretty fast on my trail. I just made it to safety when he hit the first one. The blast leveled the entire ventilation section, and Hanhar was caught right in the middle, and he survived. Barely.
Barely?
He was crawling around, blinded from the flash and the plasma burns. And it happened so fast. And all the blood had been scabbed and crusted from the flash. I had the drop on him, and even blind, he knew it. He could still hear me. My ears were ringing from the blast, but I could hear him. I think he was begging me to let him live. His voice, it wasn't a roar, more like an echo of it. I suppose I should have killed him, but I couldn't do it. He was in pain, he was helpless. So I dragged him out of there enough to get him to safety, and he kept hunting me ever since. He said he'd pursue me to the edge of the galaxy. No matter where I ran, he would find me and break me, that I would always be prey.
Sometimes it's stronger to spare life than to take it.
Maybe. I've thought about that moment. A lot. Wondered if I would do things differently if I had another chance.
And one more thing I want to talk about. Yeah, you seem restless.
All this traveling.
Yep. This is no smuggler's
I'd rather be
moon.
doing...
Like Nar Shaddaa.
Yeah.
How so?
Well, Nar Shaddaa's got a life to it.
Kreia showed me how to listen to Nar Shaddaa once. How all life is connected, is bound to each other.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't go...
Okay. Maybe one day I'll be able to show you.
No thanks.
Okay.
Alright.
Then how about that rocket launcher?
Made it. It's custom for me, which is a good thing, because I wouldn't want anyone using it against me. I can show you how to make rockets, though, if you'd like. All it requires is a good skill with demolitions.
With your mirror and your party, you can make rockets at workbenches, provided your demolition skill is high enough.
Anything else you wanted to know? Go ahead.
Alright. Well, shit. I was hoping that would do enough to bump me up to the next... to, talk about... the, talk about connecting her to the Force. Let's try one more time.
Yeah, something wrong? Why, you tried...
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, hold on.
Something wrong. It's got a... No thanks.
Oh, crap. Okay. That's unfortunate. Ooh! Just remembered one thing I can do. I have been leveling up my repair. So... hold on a sec. Whoa! What did I just do? Okay. Alright. Professional. No, wait, I didn't want to do this. I want to do this. Yeah. That doesn't help. Crap. Do any of these help? I mean, that gives +2 wisdom, so that helps, actually. And then I got the skills package here. That's good. Yeah, so now my repair... computer use is at only 18, but my repair is up to 13. I can probably do a couple of these. So... you look like you're in need of some routine maintenance. Just sit still. This won't take long. Easy success there. That should do it. You doing all right? Good. +1 constitution. Glazed look. Other questions? Let me try some more routine maintenance. Yeah, let me try and make this work. Or make this quick. Ooh, not high enough. I was wondering why the front panel wasn't closing all the way. Okay, I'll try again later when I've trained my skills some more. Okie dokie. What else do I want to do? What else do I want to do? Kreia, 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 Kreia. I'm sure she's going to have something to say. So let me actually swap back. Actually, no, that one's fine. Yeah, that's good.
Yes? Have you come with questions?
Yeah, I want to know more about the Force.
Very well.
I wish to ask you about the lesson related to my skills.
Have you done as I asked?
I have devoted myself to repairing machines.
Very well. Then know this. Many are the times I meditate in the silence of my chambers. Do you know why I do this? I do this so that I might center myself, listen to the currents of the galaxy. There are others who may achieve this in occupying the mind, in achieving a moving meditation where operating on machinery achieves a similar effect. Skill does not always draw from the Force, but it is a measure of power nonetheless. It can grant knowledge, help steady oneself when one's thoughts are in chaos, or grant enlightenment. Much can be achieved without the Force, as you know. Life continues, persists, and may be helped or harmed as a result. Now I am tired. Leave me to my meditations.
You have gained a bonus to your weakest and strongest skills. You have also recovered some of your connection to the Force. Cool. Yeah, that actually bumped my repair and my persuade, I think. Sweet. That's nice. Hey, T3. I'm a little better now. Let's give this another shot. Let's try it again. Okay. Nope, still not good enough. That's fine. Let's talk a bit more with Kreia.
Yes?
Yeah, let's learn more about the Force.
Very well. What is it that drives you?
Before, when I heard the thoughts of my companions, I heard something like an echo.
Ah, I had wondered if... But your powers are strong indeed. There are places in the galaxy, strong in the Force, light, dark. They are born in places teeming with life, and in places that are filled with death. Worlds whose surfaces are graveyards, whose screams echo through the Force. It is possible for war, for men to give birth to such places, to leave wounds on the galaxy itself. What you heard was the echo of the past, and it travels still.
But what is it? It's familiar. It's like it's inside me somehow.
The answer will come to you in time. It must. When there is nothing more that you may learn from me, when the ruins of your past have been cleared away and I am no more, then you shall know what it is. And if you do not, then the galaxy shall die, and all my hopes for you will have been for nothing.
Okay.
Ask, and I will answer.
Okay, this is back to the main questions. I've probably got enough influence for some of these. I had questions about how Revan amassed such a huge force against the Republic.
Have you never asked yourself?
No, I went down this way.
Yes?
Let's keep going down the Force through. Can you teach me any lightsaber forms? Okay.
The Jedi practice many forms, many styles of lightsaber combat. It is good to know them, but not to rely on them. You may have already felt the Shicho, the simplest of the forms, return to you as your skill and perceptions have returned. Others may come with time, with experience.
Okay. Alright.
Ask.
So, did you know Revan?
Perhaps. I think it is fair to say that few did.
Where did Revan come from?
Revan had a mother and father, parents, ancestors, like all Jedi do. And when she awakened to her potential, I was there to see it. But where she was born, where she came from, I do not know, any more than I know where she walks now. Some said that Revan was born in the outer regions, beyond the Rim, and that's what called to her during the Mandalorian Wars. And after, it was the call of home.
Interesting. What else do you know of Revan?
I know more, but it may not be enough for the answers you seek.
Where did Revan... No, we said that. What caused Revan to fall? To turn on the Republic.
Fall? Ah, already you presume much. You were there at Malachor. Revan's choices were always her own. It was not teaching or circumstance or example. It was her.
Then what made her turn to the dark side? Become a Sith Lord?
Is that what she was? Or was she always true to herself, no matter what personality she wore? And there is something that the Council may never understand. That perhaps Revan never fell. The difference between a fall and a sacrifice is sometimes difficult, but I feel that Revan understood that difference more than anyone knew. The galaxy would have fallen if Revan had not gone to war. Perhaps she became the Dark Lord out of necessity to prevent a greater evil. I do not believe the Jedi Council changed Revan as they claimed. They merely stripped away the surface and allowed the true self to emerge again, someone who was willing to wage war to save others. But that is my belief, since I knew Revan from long ago, as a master knows their apprentice.
Ooh, you trained her?
She came to me, yes. Both before and after. Before Revan knew herself. And after, in the times when Revan was coming into her own and learning she was more than she had been told. At one time, Revan was my Padawan, in times past long ago. But Revan, when she had learned all she could, had other masters, that fool Jar and other Jedi on other planets. She learned from each, but in the end, she turned back to me, when she realized there was nothing more to be learned from the Jedi, except how one could leave them forever.
What was Revan like as a student?
Revan was power. It was like staring into the heart of the Force. Even then you could see the Jedi she would slay etched on her soul.
And here we come to one of the most interesting buried lines in this whole game. What do you see when you look at me?
You are different. When I look at you, it is like staring at the death of the Force.
Very interesting. And unfortunately, you can't expand upon that. But a fabulous line. And with that, I think that's enough for now. Next time we'll do a bit more talking. There's a couple things I want to take care of. A couple things around, and then we'll make our next decision to our next planet. But in the meantime, I've been Jake. This has been Knights of the Old Republic 2. Have a good one.